In this morning's New Zealand Herald headlines, government ministers asked to disclose tobacco industry links, what you can no longer put in your recycling bin as new rules arrive, and fresh figures reveal the size of Air New Zealand's impact on our economy. Atamarie, I'm Sherry Kinnear. It's Thursday, the 1st of February. MPs are being called on to be transparent about any relationships they may have with tobacco companies. A briefing by Otago University public health academics highlights links between government ministers and the industry. The coalition government's planning to repeal smoke-free legislation, but one academic argues they're not following the public mandate. Co-director of Smoke-Free Research Group Aspire 2025 Professor Janet Hook says ministers need to be completely open.
What we've identified is some concerning parallels between the arguments that they're using and arguments that we've seen in tobacco industry documents.
Recycling is set to become more efficient across the country as new rules come into place today. Standardised recycling requires almost everyone to place paper, glass and plastic types 1, 2 and 5 in their bins. It's the first step towards a new waste strategy. Waste Win says the aim is to make it easier for New Zealanders to know what can be recycled. Overseas research shows contamination decreases and the quality is increased. 4 councils have until 2027 to implement the new rules. 5 million free COVID tests will become available until the end of June, with hospitals still under strain. The government's working with Health New Zealand to make them available through a number of health providers and some pharmacies. Te Whatu Ora says it's going to cost just over $5 million. It's coming from the existing COVID budget and there's no new government funding going into it. Winston Peters and Judith Collins have touched down in Melbourne for a Foreign Affairs and Defence Summit with their Australian counterparts for the first time ever. At the risk of antagonising China, New Zealand will explore deepening military ties with Australia, the US and UK. Also on the agenda are regional concerns in the Pacific and the growing crisis in the Middle East. And fresh figures have revealed the size of Air New Zealand's impact on our economy. The report, compiled by Sense Partners, has found the national carrier was the second largest economic contributor in the country. It found Air New Zealand facilitates about $26 billion in economic activity and adds about $2.7 billion to our economy each year. The activity covers several sectors, not just tourists, but businesses and exports. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more news worth knowing, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here. And head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.